Welcome back, survivors. I'm the SurvivalVis, and we return to Mandibles, where we are back with the original roster in the hunt menu. There we are. Okay, so, everything so far has, from what we've had comment-wise, everything here is more like warm-up compared to what these last few will be. And after going after the manipulators we have, I'm liable to agree with that, because that is one powerful bug. But that's nothing that shouldn't be able to be fixed with a little bit of firepower, if we will. So I'm thinking we make this a massacre almost. Minigun, double ammo should hopefully let us clear through whatever the manipulator has to throw at us. And the original roster from here on, if they're all going to be this strong, we are definitely going to need to get that railgun sooner or later. So, maybe that's why the points are such an extreme jump, is to kind of tell you, okay, you've handled this so far, be ready for a huge step up with these last ones. But everything's good, and, you know what? Actually, maybe we'll do Gates of Dawn. And is there anything else I want to pick up? I don't think so. Nothing else I think is really going to help us quite like the minigun will. The assault rifle, I think, is too weak. Like, look at that firepower. It's so minuscule compared to everything else. But the Mauser might not be bad to have. Yeah, maybe we'll try going with it with everything we can, try to get Manipulator down, because that bugger is just a monstrosity. And since, yeah, we'll do this because, yeah, we can't afford anything else. I was thinking maybe we'll try to get the Carnivores, but we don't have the points for that. We'll try this, though. We're going to try and see if we can get revenge on the Manipulator, who got revenge on us for basically letting the DLC have their moment to shine. Everything looks rather good, though, so let's hop into a brand new hunt and try taking down one of these monstrosities, shall we? Okay, we're all loaded up and in here, so we got pistol, the shotgun, the anti-tank rifle, and the minigun. We're going to test and make sure the Shredder lives up to its name in this episode, that's for sure. We just have to try to find it. And one of the things about doing the, split up for what animals we'll see, it's just so that way I can try to get the points a little bit easier. I will take lessons from the far north and all the comments that have been very helpful for it, and letting us know to, if we really want to target one specific animal, just to select that one from our hunt menu. But I want to try to keep a little bit of variety, so even if we do, say, get the one of them, we can go for a few other things too. I think we're not really going to mess around, we're just going to get right through the Gates of Dawn and then see from there. I also do... I'm hoping the sounds won't be too bad for you guys. Like, for me, pulling out the minigun, it does have quite a bit of a sound of the wind-up. Putting away is not bad, but drawing it out's a little loud, so hopefully, as I do some minor edits in the recording, it'll be a little easier on the ears there for you guys. I still don't really know how much editing I want to do on the videos. I feel like there's something to be said about an uncut thing, just that way you can see the entire experience. I'm not trying to make a variety show here. And not do a lot of the dumb edits that I see on a lot of other videos. A lot of them rub me the wrong way, because they don't feel like they add anything, they're just weird choices to include. But anyway, we'll get through the Gate of Dawn here, and then see what we can do. I don't want to try calling anything into us because of how tight the quarters are here. We'd rather not get found by a manipulator in this area, but as soon as we get to the southern area past it, we'll be on the lookout for one in case we can get. But here we are, back into some familiar territory. And one thing I will have to try checking is maybe the render settings for whether I will use a far view range or not. One of the things with the latest series that we've started, Fallen Kings, I do apologize for the Friday episode of it. That was almost like a rough pilot in a way. Like, if you've ever seen certain shows come out with a pilot episode, sometimes they're not the highest of quality or production value or stuff like that. Think of it like that in a way, just because I wasn't sure the best experience to have for Fallen Kings. And thanks to some very helpful comments on the last episode of... Oh, there's something we can go for. The last episode of Far North, I was able to set it up a little better, so it'll just be that single week of it being a little bit more of like a rough cut. We'll have the proper and true Fallen Kings coming up this Friday for you guys. Sort of the proper premiere episode in a way. Actually, we'll have quite a few things coming this week because... Oh yeah, and then there's the Gojirosaurus skeleton that I know the comments mentioned or asked if I'd seen before. I have. I kind of labeled the cause of their loss to the Anudulus, just because I don't know if insects actually have a bit better radiation protection than the rest of anything else does. But it just kind of seemed like that might be what was the kind of how it fit together in the puzzle there. I actually don't know for sure. You'd have to try to talk to the actual mod developer about his sites and that. Well, that's just kind of my headcanon about what was able to take it down. Either that or just the Hunter Corp or Dino Hunt Corp came through and scorched the earth with any they found. We do have plenty of ammo, and it would be nice to get some more points, so maybe we'll try getting close enough to see if the tank rifle can take one of these guys down. That said, though, he's not giving us much time to get close, is he? Although he is providing us with a nice area to try at him. As long as he doesn't... He's going to keep going along the coastline, isn't he? I was thinking, if he was going to stay down over that area, that would have given us a lot of opportunities for shots, but if he's kind of going over like he is now, he's probably just going to keep following the coast and be a problem that way. And, okay, just want to make sure I know the shortcut for the minigun. That's the only reason I brought it out, because if we do need to go for it, we'll probably have to go for it pretty quickly. There we go, this is what I wanted. This should be some nice, easy shots off. There we go. Yeah, that's what I was aiming for. A couple of shots, I guess over top of him went into the water, and then the Hylonomus spooked me a little bit there, just starting to sprint down the hill. It's once you start getting into the animals that will really start coming after you, you kind of get on edge and paranoid almost. But we are here for one thing in particular, so let's try getting one out. Okay, no reply. Not bad, not bad. I'm kind of thankful we didn't get a reply as I was coming up the hill, because if it was up here and we called it in, I think we would have been in big trouble. We'd like to try to almost get a shot or two off with the tank rifle, and then bring the minigun out once it's getting more in range. Minigun just has such a spread on it that it's very... The optimal use is for when they're probably medium to short range, closing into point-blank range. We'll tuck that away for now, and just kind of keep walking along the edges and that of the coast here. Try to keep us with some nice distance from everything, and just kind of keep an eye out on the horizon in case we spot anything. But anyway, before we spotted that, where was I? Yeah, Fallen Kings. I have to keep the view range as just default, otherwise a lot of the... Sort of the kind of foliage effects we were noticing in the Fluvius Veterum. Excuse me a moment as I drink. There we go. A lot of the foliage popping in and out, that was happening on Fallen Kings. The best way to resolve that is just to keep the default view range on that. I may even change that in the Veterum, just in case. So that way it's a smoother experience if we do hunt on it again. Which we probably will. Oh, just Arthur Plura. Although, we don't have him actually on the roster, so... doesn't have to worry about us. We just have to worry about the manipulators, wherever they are. And be careful if it goes onto the island of death down there in the bottom southwest there. Because that was where we went last time, where we did get... No, we were trying for the Pulmonus Scorpius, and then we got surprised by the Manipulator. Which I think had already taken a couple of shots in it from the Hole Puncher, if I'm not mistaken. Am I still here? The Arthroplura crawling about. Yeah, it's up there. I don't know where it's going. Almost seems to be stuck in a little circle. Okay, you know what? We'll get up. We'll go directly due east where the Arthroplura was, just because that looks like pretty much like the highest point on the map around us. Which means nothing should be able to kind of come up and surprise us there. That said, the Arthroplura is making a lot of now... Well, I tried to mix noise and sound and came out as something else. Making a lot of sounds and noise over here, so we'll... Does seem like it's stuck in terrain almost. You just kind of crawl on your way. You're not on the roster, so we're not going to go after you. We're a hunter, we're not a plain-out killer. We respect we can only go after what we can. We'll get our way... Oh! Hello? But... Well, we got one of you guys, so we won't go after another one until we can find a Manipulator proper. Well, like that kind of checking over the hill. Is it clear yet? Is it clear yet? You're okay. You can probably go running off as we're getting closer. Well, I'm kind of surprised that they chose for its running animation or its fleeing animation that it actually is reared up a little bit. I guess it's sort of maybe like a motorbike popping a wheelie to escape on us. Just a little bit of fun we're having with things. Okay. Oh, sounds like it's trying to come towards us now. Oh, it sort of is. Okay, so we're getting back into the eastern half of the map a little bit more. This is generally where I would expect to see the Manipulator, just because there's a lot of area on this side. But no replies back. That always worries me a little bit. At least if you have a reply back, you can sort of gauge direction. Not so much distance, but direction to know where you gotta keep an eye out. So when you have no reply, that you kind of wander in any direction, and that's when you can just get surprised. And I don't think I'll really be using the radar too much. I feel like it takes away a lot of the fun of the hunt, because if you know exactly where they are, it turns into a shooter more than anything. But Mandibles will be going for a while, and God, I gotta get grounded on where this video is going to go for commentary. Okay, premiering also this week, Fallen Kings proper. Fallen Kings proper is going to be premiering, along with Jurassic World Evolution. Okay, I hear something, but I don't know what it is. Maybe a Yaprotura? I don't think it's Manipulator, but I don't know for sure. Oh, yeah, it is just a Yaprotura. Maybe we'll even try getting just a couple shots on it. Jeez, I thought I would at least get 1 or 2 shots off on that, but... Yeah. Jurassic World Evolution and proper Fallen Kings will be premiering this week. Actually, basically back-to-back, because the plan is for Thursday to get Jurassic World Evolution out, and then Fallen Kings Fridays, just to fit into that flow. And we will be tackling the first of the DLC, which will be the Secrets of Dr. Wu, I believe. I've already done the base game when I bought it way, way back when it first came out. Back when it was, oh boy, how much was that? I want to say $80 for me, Canadian? Come on, go down. There we go. But yeah, I think it was $79.99 on Steam when it first came out. I actually don't think the price has really gone down too much either. God, do you remember when a new game used to be, like, $40? I miss those days. I mean, on Steam you still can find games for pretty good prices, as long as they're, like, indie developer games and that, like... Actually, I just picked up one that I may do a little bit on the channel, Gunfire Reborn. It's very early access, not too much content, but already it shows some good promise. I just have a few questions with some of the design choices they made with it. Nothing art-wise, but like a prime example is as you play roguelites and that, generally if you go further in, you get increases to like your health or protection, like armor, stuff like that, etc. Just something so you can kind of survive longer as the enemies are getting tougher. This game, though, has you at a fixed health and shield kind of at the start. And there's not something like every floor you can get a little upgrade towards that. It's entirely random, and the enemies kind of have a certain factor they always go up difficulty-wise from. So it's just kind of feels like it tries to be a roguelite, but it also just feels really grindy because of that as well. Just the choice they made with it. Well, nothing so far, and we have actually been out for a little while. I was hoping we would have come across some Manipulator by now, but we do have quite a bit more ground to cover still. I gotta remember, if we want to go for targeted hunts, we really just have to pick the one animal. This is like the Tyrannus for the final episode of Far North again, isn't it? But it is actually just kind of nice to have an experience of just walking and hiking through the map as well. They are still very, very well done maps from every game and series I've played of Carnivores so far. Mandibles, I think, is one of the ones where you can really see the growth over Triassic. Oh, a little hiccup there. Not sure why. But you can really see the growth just because of how... Oh, excuse me. I seem to not be able to drink just simple water and talk without having a few problems there. Because the mod author has the experience of a prior mod and making something, you can see where they've improved on. Like, Triassic's maps were a little bit more rugged and jagged and almost a bit hard to traverse just because of how it was. Whereas Mandibles, all the maps, the slopes are a lot smoother. You won't have too much where it's hard going up or down or wherever you want to on the maps. It's that little extra experience of having a first mod completed and moving on to a second where you can really see just the growth behind somebody who takes the time to learn and try stuff out. It's really, really nice. I'm just trying to think if there's anything else to talk about, but to be honest, I don't really think there is too much. We had the double feature weekend just pass, just last week actually. We've got tabs back on the channel, which will be around for a little while. It'll depend, again, everything on the channel mostly depends on feedback and what you guys would like to see or watch. I always try to leave it open for whatever you guys want to comment or request to be added to a list. Now, granted, there are some series that I will tackle before others, just because they sort of fit the theme of the channel a little bit easier, and there's stuff that I can say, yeah, this will probably be a good series to display and showcase on the channel. That's kind of one of the reasons why Jurassic World Evolution has been one I've been holding onto for a long time before doing. Because, like I say, I've had it since it went on first release. It's just that I didn't want to do a series on it because a park builder can sometimes be one of those ones where you don't know how the performance might be on a channel. If you have a dedicated community and fan base building, you'll probably get some good luck with it because people are there both to see the game, but also to spend time with the person who's doing it, like the narration and the commentary. But if you're a little bit of a smaller well, I'm kind of a pretty tiny channel. We do have a fair-sized community so far, though, but if you have a smaller community and a park builder where it's more of a slow and you're just engaging with a person, it might not do as well. So I figure this way we had the requests coming up. I was looking between what we might do. I think it's a good time to, well, that and a nice Steam sale that came out recently to get all the DLC and expansions, etc. for it for just $50 or so. It's a good time to be able to roll that out and see how it does. I think it's actually going to be one of the highest, if not the highest profile games we've done so far. Because anything else, we haven't really done any AAA games on the channel either. It's mostly been smaller games like independent developers. We did do Monster Hunter World, but I feel like that is almost like a bit of a bloated topic in some ways, just because you have so many people who will do so many different videos covering it. It's an amazing series of games and a franchise that I absolutely adore, but it hasn't really done too well on the channel. I do think some of it has been because the earlier videos were such a low coding format for it. I apologize on that. There's only so much I can do with the hardware I have right now. But I think I fixed most of those issues in that now that we're stepping things up a little more. They'll take some time, but it is worth it. Right now, though, the channel is doing fairly well. We're staying pretty steady. We'll just kind of keep doing our own thing and welcome new people along who just stumble across us. It's how we've been growing this far, so we'll just keep doing what's working. No reason to fix what's not broken, right? Speaking of, where the heck are these things? I mean, I know my voice can be a nice little cheery thing to enjoy, but you guys also come here to see a little bit of action while we're hunting. And I also want to get a little bit of a revenge against these because of how many have screwed us over last week. So where is one of them? It seems like whenever we're trying for one in particular, it's the most elusive and hardest to find. This really, really reminds me of when we were going after the Pulmonoscorpius. Because how many episodes did we go through before we actually got or managed to have one come after us? I actually can't remember. Mandibles is actually probably our longest ongoing carnivore series on the channel so far to date. It's definitely gone past Triassic. Well, there's a Yapertura, so maybe we'll... I feel kind of bad for cracking out the shredder on that, but we gotta get something going on here. Maybe we'll even just use the double barrel. I don't know if the Yapertura would actually turn aggressive on us or not. Yeah, we'll see if we can just kind of catch up to it. I don't think it has a very good... Like, it flees very quickly, so we may be able to get a few more shots before it gets too far. Well, we definitely got blood off of it, so some have hit. Oh, you bugger. Okay. Yeah, we'll probably have to end things off here, just because of how long we've been going. I try not to let my hunts run too long, just because, again, you kind of walk over the same area over and over again, but... We'll probably have to make next week a specific targeted hunt then for the Manipulator, and only have that selected. There we go. Just took one more. Unless we can get lucky and we get a call back from here. Yeah, I didn't think we'd quite get lucky. You never know, sometimes you do. We'll just go to the very peak of the mountain there, and we at least have some more points that we're slowly going to build up with, thanks to the tranquilizers on these. Although, it's not moving, but it is tranquilized. We'll just kind of rush our way over and see, but I guess that's why the point values kind of did what they did. It was a thing to say both you need a lot of experience to try taking these on, and they're also going to take a lot of punishment. Yeah, no calls back, so we're definitely going to have to do a targeted hunt next week. I was hoping we would squeeze a little bit of a mix in or a variety, but overall, it's still some points. You guys got heard me ramble and rant a little bit. A nice little bit of a way for me just to kind of have some downtime to talk to you. But we'll probably end things off there and see how we're looking for points. I'm hoping that's at least another 20 or so. Well, let's head on back and out of here and see how we're looking. Okay, so we're back in the menu here. Let's just take all the points off and see how we're sitting. 661. That's actually not that much that I thought we would get, because I thought we were at 650 something. I'll have to take a look back in the video when I'm editing, but I don't think we really increased by all that much, which isn't exactly good when you need just 750 to get the mix of the Manipulator and the Railgun. And I don't know how badly off, like this, the Yeekalopterus I'm guessing is going to be an absolute tank to try taking on. And the Protosolpuga is probably going to be another strong one as well. These last three, well, probably four, but these last three are definitely going to be our hurdle to come and deal with in Mandibles next. Oh, I wonder, though. That is only 200. You know what, we'll farm up some points, try to get a bit better, and then do Amethyst Duskland later. Just so that way we can try to be ready with whatever we get thrown at us. In the meantime, though, thank you guys very much for joining me on another episode of Mandibles. If you do like the series, or any of the content I do, be sure to leave a like or comment down below. Always happy to chat back with you guys and help in any way I can, or take your requests into the videos. If you do want to help the channel out, maybe think about subscribing if you haven't. We're always welcoming new people into the community, and though we don't have a milestone target yet, we're still more than happy to have you along. Until I see you all in the next episode, though, please remember to take care and stay alive.